Hi, I'm here with my brother Martin, who's generally considered a more appealing version of me. And we're at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia. We haven't been here since we were in Cub Scouts. And we're just looking forward to the giant heart. The giant heart.
Right, the giant heart.
Giant heart.
And the nickels.
Nickels with the face of Abraham Lincoln on it.
No, Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
In fact, Lincoln's never been on that nickel, ever. We're going inside to see how it goes.
There he was, just like when we walked through these doors as Cub Scouts. Ben Franklin, Philadelphia's favorite son. This monumental sculpture by James Earl Fraser is the centerpiece of the nation's official memorial to Ben. It costs money to get into the Franklin Institute Museum, but you can visit Ben's statue in a giant rotunda designed after the Pantheon in Rome for free.
We're just discussing where we think the heart is. My experience is to do museums from the upstairs to the downstairs. But that would put the heart as a grand finale.
That sounds perfect.
All right, but we won't forget to do the heart.
No, I don't see how we could.
Okay. Same old elevators. Except I don't think there's an old man in there running the elevator anymore. Maybe he's still there. First stop is the top floor. And I always remember the top floor of this place being kind of mysterious. Not a lot of people got up here. And well, here comes one guy. He's here. But this is exactly the way I remember it. This big long hallway. Do you know the code, Martin?
No.
You do? Don't lie to me. Look how high up we are. Hey guys. Hi. Tell me again, this is the same telescope I selected when I was a Cub Scout in 1964? Probably?
This is exactly this. This is
wow.
Installed in the 30s and hasn't left since.
The Pendulum Gallery.
Oh, Sir Isaac's Law.
Franklin Institute has always been a hands-on museum. I remember turning lots of cranks and pushing lots of buttons back in the 1960s, but now it's a hands-on museum on steroids. Most of the exhibits don't just invite you to touch, they pretty much demand it.
My favorite movie, Vertigo.
The third floor sports zone examines the science of sports. It also lets kids and spry grown-ups try and outrun some leading Philadelphia athletes. Changing Earth drives home the bad news about climate change, but it does so with lots of colorful interactive exhibits. We could have taken the elevator down to the second floor, but we opted for the pendulum stairway, which does not seem to have changed at all. There is one difference. As I recall, the museum used to have a dedicated section to Ben Franklin memorabilia. Now it's tucked into the corners of the pendulum stairway. So, if you want to see Ben's bifocals, you'll have to take the stairs. The Franklin Institute's second level is by far its busiest floor. Here's where you'll find a crackling exhibit about, what else, electricity, the force that Franklin did so much to harness with his invention of the lightning rod. You'll see a few of his rods on display, and watch out for that key.
You're very brave.
Nearby is an aviation gallery with a full-size jet, and items from the museum's collection of Wright Brothers documents, the world's largest. Follow the signs to the restrooms and your brain, and you'll come upon the museum's largest recent addition, a massive gallery that examines the human brain. There are lots of brain models and mind games, but the centerpiece is a 2-story tall climbing installation. The museum claims it's a representation of how electrons move through the brain, and like most of the museum, it's mighty loud. Now that I mention it, I couldn't help but notice how very loud the Franklin Institute is, through and through. The word museum used to imply at least some level of quiet contemplation of the wonders of nature or art or technology, but here, as in lots of science museums today, there's just no getting away from the bedlam. Actually, I must take that back just a bit. We did find a somewhat quiet spot on the first floor, where there's an exhibit of space suits and space technology. I don't know why, but a reverent awe seemed to fill the rooms there. That ended quickly, though, in the train room, where you'll find the museum's enormous Baldwin 6000 locomotive, one of the largest ever built. The first floor is also where you'll find the Fells Planetarium. With the advent of laser projection, most planetariums have done away with their wonderful old Jules Verne-type projectors, and the Fells is no exception. Also, the seats no longer form a circle, but are lined up toward a low stage at one end. Still, there's a special kind of magic when the lights go down and that dome fills with stars. I do miss some of the old exhibits at the museum. For years there was a terrific HO scale model train, and one gallery was once dominated by an enormous rotating lighthouse prism. Both are gone now, But one thing remains, and the museum will probably be stuck with it forever: the giant heart. Built as a temporary exhibit in the 1950s, the Franklin Institute's giant heart has become as much a part of the city's social landscape as mustard-covered pretzels. It seems a bit smaller than when I was a kid, but there's no mistaking the thrill of heading inside and hearing that endless thump, thump, thump.
Look at all these blood cells.
There's so many stairs in the heart. I wonder if anyone's ever had a heart attack walking through the heart. Irony. Oh. This is the view from the top of the heart. We're slowing down the end.
Re-entering the heart.
What? You think you're out and then they pull you back in again. Okay, so it's been like 50 years, right? I don't know, it's something like that.
Oh, I hate when it's 50 years.
Yeah. So it was worth going. I was disappointed in some ways. First of all, it's really crowded and loud. They're almost playgrounds now, museums, rather than being places where you go and think about what you're seeing. They seem to have removed everything that's not hands-on.
But I have to say that of all those see and do museums, this would be like a level above most.
Absolutely,
You know.
absolutely. Well, it has
But yeah, it did remind me more of those see and do museums,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
are not really museums.
So not necessarily grown-up museum. I think you bring a kid.
Yeah, and it was nice to see.
That's why I brought my kid, probably.
And no, and you saw a lot of parents, obviously, that
Yeah,
never
right,
tried.
right. Okay, worth a trip. If you're in Philadelphia, Franklin Institute. Give it a thumbs up.
Oh yeah.